You want to speak better English, or maybe it's French, Japanese, Spanish, but no matter what language you're learning, there's one thing you can't avoid, and that is memorization. Yeah, I know, it sounds boring. It's especially boring if you're just going through piles and piles and piles of flashcards. But here's the thing, memory isn't just about repetition, it's about connection, you know? Your brain remembers things best when there's context. That's why it's easier to remember your best friend's birthday than a random number someone told you 5 minutes ago. You know, actually, let's do a little experiment. Try remembering this number, 54926. 54926. And let's see if you still remember the number by the end of this video. All right, so you link a word to a sound, picture, a feeling. Then it sticks. For example, if I tell you "pain" means bread in French, you might forget it in 30 seconds. But if you're in a coffee shop in Paris while staring down at those beautiful, beautiful croissants, and suddenly someone says, "Voulez-vous du pain?" Boom. That word "pain" is locked in your brain. Because now there's an image of the actual croissant, a touch of that delicate crust, and a buttery smell. So you have an entire experience tied to that word, pain or croissant. And that word is gonna stick in your memory for good. That's how real, authentic memorization works. This is also why living in a country where the language is spoken is so powerful. Because you're constantly surrounded by words that actually mean something in that moment. You know what I'm saying? You see the word, you hear it, you use it, sometimes all within, 5 seconds. You walk past a few street signs and notice, "Su" means road in French. You hear someone order at a restaurant, watch how they talk to the waiter, see the dishes they ask for, and voila. Now you have mastered how to talk in a restaurant. Because everything is happening in real time, with real stakes, real confusion, real rewards. And your brain loves that. This is also why kids learn languages so much faster than adults, because they're constantly learning in real time through real interactions and context. But let's be real. Most of us aren't going to drop our life, our career, and family just to move to another country for language learning. Though if you have the opportunity to move out for 2 months to learn a language, please do it. Seriously, that's the fastest way to learn. As long as you follow one strict rule, only speak the target language for 2 months straight, and you'll be shocked how quickly you pick it up. But for the rest of us, how do we recreate the same experience at home? Well, you gotta simulate it. For me, one of the easiest way to simulate immersion is by talking to native speakers online. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna, meet a French person just by walking out on the street. So I've been using this platform called italki. It lets you book one-on-one sessions with native tutors who actually speaks the language every day. They've got former IELTS examiners, certified teachers to help you reach your goals, whether it's immigration or, just a language exam for your college, or, you probably just want to get better at conversation. Yes, they're sponsoring this video, but just so you know, I've personally taken 186 hours of lessons on italki. And that's how I reached B2 in French in just 6 months. If French, Spanish, English is not your cup of tea, then no worries. italki has more than 150 languages for you to select from. And you can even learn dialects on the italki. Recently, I want to learn, if I have the time, I would want to learn Cantonese and Hokkien on the platform. The entire platform is super chill, super flexible. I had late night chats, morning practice session, ask, bunch of random cultural questions, and even shared some life stories.
Okay, bueno. Vamos a empezar. We'll start from the very, very beginning. 5,
5,
6,
7,
7,
8. And honestly, this kind of real interaction make word sticks way better than any kind of, textbook flashcards could ever do. You can also check out my previous video here where I shared my strategy on how I learned French in 6 months. Oh, and most importantly, there's no advance payment. You pay as you go. And if you want to try out the one-on-one language lessons with native teachers on italki today, then use the exclusive code to get $5 off your first lesson when you spend $10 or more, limited to the first 50 users. So book now. Book immediately, like now. Anyways, when you're by yourself, try using images when you learn new words. Pair sounds with visuals. Attach experience to every word. Eat a croissant when you try to remember the word croissant. Just make it fun, because let's face it, writing words on flashcards all day is pretty boring and inefficient. The good news is you only need to master the 1,000 most commonly used words, and voila, you're ready to actually enjoy the language. Oh, by the way, do you still remember the number I told you to memorize at the beginning of this video? It was 54926. And also watch shows with only English subtitles, or watch more of my videos since all in English. And just try to narrate your surroundings in your target language. I know it's difficult, but you want this immersive experience. In the end of the day, memorization isn't about grinding through, flashcards endlessly. That's like trying to get six-pack abs through crunches, which is not gonna work. I've tested out, it's not gonna work, guys. You're not gonna get abs through crunches. The same goes for you're not gonna memorize any new vocabulary through, flashcards. That's not how your brain works. It's all about making words feel real to your brain. And how do we do that is by, connecting words with all our senses. So yeah, memorization matters, but it doesn't have to be painful. Make it visual, make it fun, make it personal, and most importantly, you want to make it stick.